Hello and welcome to Amy Hart's Mums Club, the podcast where I talk about the highs and lows of parenting with a gaggle of fabulous guests who also share their experiences too. But that's not all. This podcast is for you. So if you have any opinions, questions, or comments, Amy Hart's Mums Club at news.co.uk is where to send them all into. Now, my guest today has done so much. She's done the Real Full Monty, she's done the Pilgrimage, which I'm so jealous of. I cannot wait to talk about that. She's a mum to three gorgeous children. I've got Christine McGuiness with me.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Really good, really good. It's lovely to speak to you.
You too. Before we get into anything, I just want to talk about beauty pageants with you because I used to do them and I very rarely meet people that also used to do them. And I'm like, I need to do this. I now look back and I'm like, I can't believe I spent so much money on a hobby. And at the time, everyone used to say to me, "Oh, do you get paid for it?" And I'd be like, "No, it's just a hobby." And I can now understand why they were asking me that as I was dropping like £800 on a dress when I was earning £3
Wow.
an airline. And but I do look back also and think about the life skills that it gave me. What life skills would you say that your time in beauty pageants gave you?
Well, that was the reason I done it. So I really, really struggled at school. I struggled socially, and I didn't know why because I wasn't diagnosed back then. But my mum seen that I was struggling, and I actually dropped out of school early. And my mum saw an advert in the local newspaper looking for models to enter beauty pageants. And my mum thought that it would really help with my confidence and it would help me socialize. So that's how I started it. But yeah, unfortunately, I weren't dropping £800 on a dress because we didn't have those finances. My clothes were borrowed or they were mum's. She would get me stuff from Oxfam because obviously the dresses, but they're really, really glamorous, over the top, stunning
Yeah.
dresses, but we didn't have that kind of money. So yeah, mine was a bit of a beg, steal, and borrow job. But for me, the part that I went for was the socializing and to make friends. Obviously, I was in the completely wrong environment because it was a competition, and we just didn't see it like that. We thought it'd be a nice thing to do, but obviously you get there and it wasn't as social as what I thought it was going to be. But I learned a lot from it. I learned that wasn't the place for me and that I wasn't comfortable on stage, even though I do TV now and I'd done the full Monty. It took me a long, long time to get to that point. But but yeah, you've just got to try stuff. You've got to push yourself out your comfort zone and figure out what's for you. And I didn't last very long. Although I won a couple of titles, but yeah, once my teenage years were done, I realized that that wasn't for me. And then like you said in the intro, I found myself on stage with the Real Full Monty, and that was because it was for charity. It was for cancer, so I managed to do it. But yeah, I don't think the beauty pageants helped with social skills or confidence, put it that way, or your bank balance with your
Right.
dresses.
Like literally, I used to earn £3 an hour at the airline I worked at, and I like literally
Wow.
put everything into it. And now I think back and think like I could have done a lot more with that. I could have gone
Yeah.
on holidays, like instead of just like not going out ever and saving it all up and stuff. But yeah, we live
But
with
if it was a hobby, it was a hobby, you enjoyed it.
I used to drive like I lived like down by Brighton and I used to drive up to oh what's it called? Oh, I can't think what the place is called now. It's like near Warrington. And I used to drive from there to Warrington and back in a day. Oh, Chorley, that was it. I used to drive to Chorley
Wow.
in a day for a 2 hour pageant training session. And I think like again,
Pageant training sessions. Oh, bless you.
yeah, I was like,
Wow.
do this. I know. I think the highest ever place, oh no, the highest ever place in this country was like fifth, and then I won in America, which was fine. But yeah, we live.
Incredible.
Yeah. But let's move on to your family. So you've got gorgeous twins, Penelope and Leo, and then you have Felicity as well. Now they are all neurodivergent. Were there any like early signs? And I think people probably think, oh, well, with Felicity, you probably could pick up the signs earlier because you'd already had the twins. But obviously, it's such a massive spectrum, and there's so many like different things to pick up on. What was your experience like of those early days?
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. Obviously, when you know what to look out for, it's a lot easier to spot it. And I do believe that, early intervention is absolutely key to getting the right help and support for your children. But with the twins, they were my firstborns. I didn't know any different. All of their little delays, like the speech and language. That was one of the biggest main things that I think most common for autistic children is the speech delays. And they definitely were like that. They didn't say a lot of words at all until like 4 or 5. They started saying sentences. They were always very particular with food. Going out and about, there weren't many places that I could take them to that, wouldn't trigger a massive meltdown. I just thought my children are quite soft and they're quite sensitive, and but maybe it's because they're with me quite a lot. I didn't have friends or family around at the time, so it was just me and the children quite a lot of the time. So I just put it all down to that. And it was only when they started nursery. I didn't put them in nursery until they were 4 because I couldn't leave them anywhere without them getting too upset. And that took a long time just to settle them into there. I would leave them for 20 minutes. I would stay on the car park, and I had to do that because I was trying to prepare them for school. And of course, I had my little Felicity. And it was when I took them into nursery that I seen the big difference between them and the other children and the development delays. And it kind of went from there. I managed to get them diagnosed and get the help and support in place before they started school. And they really needed it. They wouldn't have been able to go to school without having an EHCP plan. And then with Felicity, she was a lot younger. Before she was 1, I could see that her eye contact wasn't as good. I could see that when she would smile or be happy, her whole body would kind of tense up and she would shake. Her hands were very, very stiff. And that is very early stimming. So if you don't know what stimming is, that is when an autistic person or ADHD person is overstimulated, and it can be a quite happy feeling. It's not always like, a meltdown where they're overwhelmed and they're crying and they're sad. Stimming, my son still does it. He's 12, my Leo. He will jump up and down. He'll flap his hands. He'll go quite stiff. And for them, it's quite a happy, exciting thing. And now I can talk to my children about it. My son explained it to me, is that it's like a volcano of happiness inside him if he's excited about playing on a game. And the only way that he can show it and get it out is by jumping up and down and making different sounds. And for him, that's his normal, and that's nice. And I never stop him. I never say to him, stop, calm down, even if we're out in public places. And I don't care. He's told me that he's really, really happy, and that's how he shows it, and he can't stop it. Like if you think about shaking a bottle of Coke and it's just going to fizz all over the place, that's how it feels for an autistic person. If they're really, really happy, they'll stim. And I spotted that in Felicity before she was 1, so I kind of knew that another diagnosis was coming. But it's been an absolute journey, a blessing, an incredible journey, absolutely amazing. All 3 of them are doing so well, and I've learned so much. And from having my 3 children, I've then got my own diagnosis, autism ADHD, and I understand myself a lot more as well. I can connect with my children on a different level. I can reassure them about their differences, that mummy is like this too, and we help each other. I can give them little tips on how I manage out and about and how I manage socially, and they help me. Sometimes if I'm struggling, it'll be my children that will say to me, it's okay, mummy, why don't you just sit outside and take some deep breaths? I'm like, okay, and I'll listen to them because they're usually always right.
So cute. I love the way that you said that you don't ever say like calm down or anything, because I feel like we're all like people pleasers, I think, naturally, where we're like, or like I did. Obviously Stanley doesn't have a diagnosis, but if like he's like shouting in a restaurant or whatever, I'll be like, stop, because I want other people to have a nice meal. But actually, if he wants to shout, he can shout, like. And so I think the way that you
I always say that. I think, my priority more than anything is my children. And no matter what, wherever we are out and about, even if it's a meltdown where, they are upset and they're kicking and screaming and shouting, I haven't got time to sit and think about what others think. If people walking past are going, oh, why are children behaving like that? Are they being naughty or whatever? That's not my priority in that moment. I need to make sure that my children are safe, and that I'm giving them full one-on-one focus to help them calm down. And I don't tell them off because you can't tell a child off for being overwhelmed by whatever's going on in their environment. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this today is to highlight that there isn't actually enough places for me to take my children that is suitable for them, and not only just suitable, but where other people can see and accept that, you know, we are entitled to be there, we are entitled to be out and about, and for other children to see neurodiverse children and children with disabilities, and to know that, you know, it's okay, we're not going anywhere. The whole world is diverse, and we need to make it more inclusive. We need more accessible playgrounds, you know, for us to be able to go out and about more, because staying in isn't what we want for our children. We want them to have that outdoor play. We don't want them sat on the computer all the time. And for us to be able to do that, we need more playgrounds, we need more areas like what Barret and Redrow are doing is absolutely incredible, and it is more than wanted, it is more than needed. I know how lonely and isolating parenting can feel anyway, but even more so when you feel like people are looking or staring or judging your children for behaving differently. If there was more places for us to go, people would see more of it and it would be more accepted.
Obviously, so you're working with Barret Redrow on this. What does an accessible playground look like? What are some of the features of it? Like, what can be implemented to make it better for everyone?
They're looking at doing like more sensory areas in parks, making them more safer with fences and gates around, because obviously a lot of children who are neurodiverse don't really have that danger and safety element, and they could run off and they won't know of the dangers. So little things like that, they're small changes, but huge for families like mine. There'll be ramps, they're going to have wider slides, more accessible equipment like the basket swings for children with physical disabilities, quieter areas, you know, for if they do need a little bit of time out, if they are getting overwhelmed, instead of just scooping our children up and going, right, okay, come on, get in the car, we're going home. We want to be able to just take a minute, still be there, calm down, and then carry on. Because what we're teaching our children by either not taking them out or taking them and then leaving is that, you know, if you get too overwhelmed with your emotions, then you're going to leave. And that's not right. We all should be able to feel our emotions, and we should be teaching our children that it's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to be a little bit scared and frightened. Just, you know, like my children say to me, just take a minute, take some deep breaths. It's okay. I always try, when I go to any play area, I always try to leave whilst they're still happy. I don't sit and wait for a meltdown, because I want them to know that, you know, we can stay as long as they're happy. We can stay. We go when it's like we've got to go now because it's tea time or it's bedtime, not because they've behaved inappropriately, because they haven't. They haven't at all. They're in a place that maybe isn't quite suitable for them.
I think as well, like, these are so needed because otherwise it is so easy, isn't it? Just stay inside, and we talk about like screen time and stuff, and it is so easy just to do that. And it's like if the provision was there, it would make life so much easier for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the research has shown that there's families driving up to 5 miles, longer than 5 miles, to go and try and find somewhere that's suitable for their children, and that's not okay. That's not fair. It's not nice for anyone, you know. And it's because there isn't enough accessible playgrounds and parks for children with additional needs, and we don't want to just have parks that are just for us and then parks that are just for neurotypical. But like I said, the whole world is diverse. We all need to mix. We all need to be comfortable around each other, and nobody should be made to feel secluded or isolated in any way. So that's why, for me, this is just it's an amazing, incredible thing, and it's lovely to see that there are changes and people are understanding, people are doing something about it.
Yeah, the 5 miles thing is so crazy. Like, a lot of my friends don't drive, so it's like, so what? So what then? Like, you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. For the families that can't drive, they haven't got a car, you know, what they're just stuck in, or they're having to go to playgrounds like I did when mine were much younger, and I was trying to take them to the local little village park. I would go when there was nobody else there. So I would go when it was raining, or I would go late at night, or it would be first thing in the morning. And that's not what I want. That doesn't make it okay. We should be able to go on a Sunday afternoon like everybody else, and it should be fine. And yeah, it's quite challenging. Parenting's challenging anyway, but it's even more challenging when you've got less places to go, especially coming up to summer holidays again. So I'm just planning ahead and trying to prepare as much as possible and find places that are suitable.
Yeah. I mean, we're so lucky. We've got actually an accessible park, like literally a 5-minute walk from us. And it's just so
Amazing.
cool to see like all children playing together and having that option there. But yeah, it's a really lovely heart. Let's talk about TV. Now, I want to talk about The Pilgrimage because that is my dream show to do. Like, what was it like?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing, life changing, and completely unexpected. I got the call to do it, and I'd seen the show. I hadn't seen all of them, but I'd seen it, so I knew what it was. And I was thinking, right, yes, to the opportunity. I want to learn about other people. I want to be outdoors. So I'm going to go for it. But I went for it thinking I'll probably I'll probably quit after a couple of days. That's what I was thinking. I'll probably be missing home, or I'll be too overwhelmed, or physically I won't be up to the challenge. And I, yeah, as I said to my children, I'll be back in a few days. And I'd done the whole pilgrimage, and it was absolutely incredible. I didn't want to leave. I cried at the end because I didn't want to leave, because I'd never taken that time out for myself. I stayed off my phone intentionally because I wanted to be fully immersed in it. Obviously, I checked on the children in the morning and in the evening, but for whilst we were filming, and just having that time with other people and getting to know others and being outside, it was it was the mental break that I needed, and I didn't know I needed it. It really was amazing. So if you get the opportunity, definitely do it.
I'm obsessed with like learning about different religions. So for me, and I love walking. So I'm like, I literally, it's one of my favorite shows to watch. I just love it. You obviously had to pull out of Celebs Go Dating this year. What was like like what happened there?
Being overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed. I'm trying to push myself always, not just for me, but for my children. I'm trying to lead by example. And I spent years throughout my 20s. Obviously, I was a full-time stay-at-home mom and wife, and that's what I wanted. That was my dream. That's all I ever wanted. But I did get offered quite a lot of opportunities with modeling, with TV work, and I'd turn it all down because I didn't have the confidence. I wanted to do it, but I was just petrified of anything and everything. And since my diagnosis, I've understand why I feel like that, and it's really helped me kind of go, okay, yeah, this that's why I struggle. So I'm saying yes to a lot more, and I'm still getting the right balance on what is okay for me and what is too much. I thought that going on Celebs Go Dating, I would be fine. I'm ready to date. I'm completely ready to date. I've been separated from my ex-husband for 3 years. We get on really well. We still live at home together. But of course, I want some adult company. I can't just sit and be with children all day, every day. I like that time out, being away from home when I'm working, but I haven't got that time out of being away from home, not working, and just enjoying some adult company. I haven't had that. So I got the opportunity and I thought, "Do you know what? Why not? I understand myself, so I'll be fine. I'll manage it." And it was just a step too far. It was a step too far. It was quite overwhelming. The media attention around it, I found it quite overwhelming. So I listened to myself, and I'm really, really proud of this. I'm really proud that I recognised how I felt. I recognised that it was too much, and I spoke about it. And I went home to my children after 2 weeks. I was supposed to do 10 weeks of filming, and I'd done 2 weeks. And I'm really, really proud of myself that I did what was right for me, because in the past I would have stayed thinking, I can't let everybody down. It's a job. I need to be professional, like just get on with it. But that's not what we should be doing. If something doesn't feel right for you physically, mentally, emotionally, it's okay to leave. And that's something I tell my children quite a lot, because being autistic, you can stay and do what other people want you to do. And I think it's really, really important to know that you can leave the party, you can leave the job, you can leave the event, you can leave the relationship at any time if it doesn't feel right for you. It's okay to leave. And yeah, it's the first time that I've done that, and I'm completely comfortable and okay with my decision, because it wasn't right for me at that time. It was too much.
Yeah. You say about the media interest. I feel like obviously you've talked openly about your sexuality, that you've dated men and women, but yet everyone, despite the fact we're in 2025, and you said you were dating men and women in your teens, and obviously back then it probably
Yeah.
wasn't as normal as it is now, but yet still everyone is like, she's doing Celebs Go Dating. Who's she going to date? Who's she going to date? Is she going to
Yeah.
date? Oh, but she's going to date a woman on telly. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so strange, isn't it? How do
Crazy.
how do you deal with that?
Well, to me, I mean, to me, it's just it's bizarre. I don't get it. When I was a teenager, obviously, my whole life wasn't splashed all over newspapers and magazines. So dealing with it then, I didn't need to. It was, because it wasn't anybody's business. So when I became single again, I didn't even think about it. I didn't think anyone would be bothered. I didn't understand what the big interest is around my love life. I still now sat here going, I don't get what all the conversations in the media, the attention's about, and didn't want to draw any more attention to it. I was just trying to be myself and just be ready to go and date and meet new people. And for me, it's much more important to just be comfortable with who you're around, regardless of the gender. So I was just trying to be myself and be happy and be free. And it actually felt like the complete opposite. The attention around it made me go more quieter, made me just want to hide. And it's took me so long to just be comfortable and be myself that I didn't like how it was making me feel. It was making me feel like I was doing something wrong when I know I'm not. And I'll keep reminding myself it is much more important to be happy with who you're spending your time with than to just go along with what is considered the norm when it's not. If it feels right to you, then you need to go with it. And like I said, the dating side of it, regardless of somebody's gender, that does feel right to me. But the way that the media and the attention around it made me feel like it didn't feel right to me at all. So that's where I kind of just went, okay, if it's going to be made such a big massive deal out of it, I'm not all right with that. So if I need to just keep dating privately for a while, that's what I'll do.
The annoying thing is that it could have been such a good opportunity for people like who maybe don't know anyone that dates both genders, or to see you and be like, oh, she
Yeah.
is a normal woman, a normal mum who is just trying to find someone she clicks with, and whether that's a man or a woman, that doesn't matter. But
And that's been my experience for the last 3 years. My experience has been that kind of trying to find somebody that I could relate to, trying to find somebody even that I didn't know, but if they were in the public eye, that I had reached out to and say, how did you deal with this? And I couldn't find one single woman in the public eye who has been married for a long time to a male who's had children, then they've separated or divorced, and then they've gone and dated women. I couldn't find anybody to ask for advice, even just to talk to privately. There was nobody. My closest friend, who I can relate to massively, is Duncan from Blue. We met on the Real Full Monty, and he's got a daughter. He is now, of course, very openly gay, and he was the only person that I had that conversation with for the last couple of years on how to handle it, how to manage it, how to deal with it. But even with him, it's still different, because I think for a woman,
yeah,
for some reason, it seems to be more shocking.
yeah. So
And for me, I don't understand why. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to kind of go, okay, if I'm going to get followed, I'm going to get hounded in every single interview. I'm going to keep getting asked about who I'm dating. Am I dating women? I'm going to keep getting asked about it, and I'm going to keep avoiding it all. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to just date openly, hold somebody's hand if I want to, and it not be made a big deal out of. So I thought I'll throw myself in the deep end, just get it all out in the open, and then I can move on and I can live peacefully, happily ever after. And it just actually highlighted all of my worries and concerns a lot more.
yeah,
And that's where I was kind of like, okay, it's not me who's not ready. It's
yeah,
it's it's the world that's not ready. It's the media that's not ready, and that's not right. And that does need to change. I hope that when the show airs, that people will see and learn. And again, it's another difference that needs to be more accepted. And I hope that I get that message across in the short time that I was on the show.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Your campaign with Barret Redrow is amazing, and you're trying to help so many other people, which is just so admirable. And I've learned so much today in this little chat. It's been amazing. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to you all for listening, and I will see you next week.